Peace and welcome to our top 10 heroes and heroines themes. We are looking at the good team today. Our other rules today include no fighting games, that will be its own top 10, original tunes only, and one per series, not franchise. So let's get this underway. Number 10, Dark Wizard, Crystal. Our first up is an underrated game in my opinion. First off, the Sega CD wasn't the most successful add-on of all time, and a lot of the games were kind of slept on. There are some fantastic soundtracks on the Sega CD, like Final Fight CD, Sonic CD, and of course, Echo the Dolphin. The CD format of the Sega CD allows for the quality to be higher than something like a Sega Genesis. Genesis games are usually around 5 megabytes, while a Sega CD game can reach into the hundreds of megabytes. You can instantly see why there is an improvement in quality due to the amount of compression. This theme of Crystal is one of the 4 main themes you will hear when selecting the corresponding character. Make sure to choose one you like, because you will be hearing this theme a ton during the game. Number 9. The Vic Viper theme. Our 9th spot comes from GRADIUS, but like most of the themes on our list today, you can find it in more than one game. This may not be the most popular theme on our list today, but it's recognizable and has a nostalgic factor. GRADIUS is one of the games I played the most on the NES. It's fun, and you can just pop it in really quickly and enjoy a game at any time. The theme has a certain Konami charm to it. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't help but think of Konami when I hear this tune. And not modern, but old school, classic Konami. Number 8, Double Dragon, Billy and Jimmy Lee's theme. Maybe the most action-packed theme on our list today, this theme has energy and it doesn't let up until the very end. A great theme for a few brothers that beat up any bad guy that stands in their way. Can be found on many consoles and many different versions of the game. You can hear this theme on many classic consoles and even some newer ones such as the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. My personal favorite is from the NES, but that's because I grew up with that version. It's the first Double Dragon game that I ever played. I also recommend the official arranged version that you can find on the arranged soundtrack. Number 7, Final Fantasy Tactics, Heroes theme. So this one is literally named Heroes theme. So if any theme ever qualified, it would be this one right here. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games of all time, and no all-time great game would be complete without first-class music. Just hearing this theme brings back a ton of memories. Late nights up with friends enjoying a great game. The theme itself almost has a nostalgic feel to it. Maybe that's just me, but this is one of those themes that feels timeless. I enjoyed it back then, I enjoy it now, and I will enjoy it in the future. It may not be the amped up, anthem-style hero theme, but that's what separates it. Number 6. Dragon Force, MIKHAL'S theme. Dragon Force on the Sega Saturn is another of my all-time favorite games. I still have the copy I picked up back in the 90s, and I am glad I kept it. The game is quite expensive nowadays, so if you see it for a cheap price, pick it up. I would love to see a modern day version of this game, maybe a spiritual successor, or maybe just Dragon Force 3. As you can already find Dragon Force 2 on the Japanese Sega Saturn. This theme is very clean and soothing. It's worth listening to, and if you pick this character to complete the game with, then you will be hearing it quite a bit. You can also find this theme on the Sega Ages 2500 version of Dragon Force. The theme is the same with a little bit of a smoother feel. You can't go wrong with either version. Number 5. Ghosts and Goblins, Arthur's theme. Our 5th spot is held by a classic theme dating back to 1985 in the Ghosts and Goblins arcade game. It kind of started out as just background music, but over the years it has been adopted by Arthur himself, the knight and star of the Ghosts and Goblins franchise. This theme has followed him from arcade to Nintendo and Super Nintendo to every PlayStation ever made: PSP, PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4. This theme has been around for a long time, and it probably deserves more recognition than it actually gets. Number 4. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Zelda's theme. Our unlucky number 4 spot is held by none other than the Princess of Hyrule. She may not always be the hero in the game, but she is no slouch. She is a princess who can hold her own. A lot like Princess Leia, if you ask me. She is capable of wielding weapons, and she will put up a fight. Plus, it's one of the most soothing themes in any Zelda game. It's calm, and the flute-like sound helps give it a fantasy feel. Sometimes modern instruments can take me out of a game. If the game is set 500 years ago in a fantasy land, then I don't really want to hear electric guitars. A flute like this is perfect, even if it is digital and from a 16-bit console. Number 3. Castlevania, the theme of Simon Belmont. originating in the 1991 Super Nintendo game Super Castlevania 4. This is one of the series' most well-known themes. I will always remember booting up my SNES and playing this game for the first time because of the music. I let the Super Nintendo sit there for a few minutes before pressing start because the music was that good. And even to this day, if I boot up some Super Castlevania 4, I still let the music play. Considering this theme is from a 16-bit console, I think the composer did a wonderful job. Number 2, Final Fantasy, TERRA'S theme. So I thought this one would be a little bit more of a difficult decision. The Final Fantasy series is full of great music, and with each game having anywhere from 5 to 15 heroes, there are a lot of themes to choose from. Some themes were close. You have Arius, Red 13, Rydia, Tifa, Cid, Shadow, Celeste, and a ton more. But at the end of it all, Terra was not to be denied. Her theme just never went away. It has a sentimental feel, and a lot like Zelda's theme that we talked about earlier, it has a flute-like instrument that, when mixed with the rest of the theme, creates in my mind a sense of determination. A top-notch theme from another 16-bit game. Before we get to number 1, we have our honorable mentions. Number 1, Chrono Trigger, SCHALA'S theme. So this list today is dominated by 16-bit. The top 4 spots all came from the Super Nintendo. It's almost a shame it was only used in a game because a lot of people will instantly ignore it because of that. And if you do that, it's a huge mistake. I know none of our subs and viewers will do that because that's why you're here now. We like to think our viewers are here because they can appreciate the effort and care that went into making the music in our favorite games. SCHALA'S theme is one of my all-time favorite themes in gaming. I would put this up against anything and it would easily hold its own. This one has another flute-like instrument. I don't know what it is about fighting for good and flutes, but today, and on this list, it just happened. It wasn't planned. SCHALA'S theme was composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, and he really showed his talent on this theme. I like everything about it, and I wouldn't change a single thing. So there you have it. Our top 10 hero themes in gaming. We didn't include any fighting games because we will do a top 10 fighting game themes. But our next top 10 will be villains. This includes bosses, mini-bosses, and any bad guy, gal, beast, or any other worldly beings. They all count. Special thanks to gold level patron Bearsona11. I am ICC. Thanks for watching. Peace.